Everybody, my name is Charlie Dobbins. I'm from Duxbury, Massachusetts. I'm an attorney in Massachusetts, and I tell all my clients, I'm an attorney. I'm not your attorney. Hire an attorney. Okay, that's always the advice that I give. I am a multifamily attorney, the only one I know like me in the whole country, because all I do is teach people how to buy apartments. That's my job. And I don't represent anyone legally. And every lawyer that I know wants to be me, because no lawyer wants to practice law. All I do is teach people every day. My clients call me up. They have direct access to me. And the reason why I am such an expert is because I've made all the mistakes. So why bother doing it again just to let me show you what to do and what not to do? So that is the whole focus of my practice, my whole consulting practice. I obviously have a coaching program like everybody else. Now, the way I teach multifamily is different than everyone else, because what I say is multifamily is not real estate. It is not real estate. All right? Let me put it to you this way. Let's say Dave owns a 100 apartment complex built in 1986. It has 61 bedrooms, 42 bedrooms. It has pitched roofs, separate entrances, individually metered, great property. And Link owns an identical property across the street. Absolutely identical, built by the same builder. The fact that they're across the street has absolutely no meaning whatsoever on the difference in any value. Okay, location is the same. Whose property is more valuable, Link's or Dave's? Well, no, hold on a second. We're talking about real estate here, guys. So they're right across the street from each other. Which one's more valuable? You know, you guys in the single family. It depends upon the NOI with the cash, the income, right? All right, so if I told you that Dave's property was 100% occupied and Link's property was 100% vacant, which one would you want to buy? But it's the same. Yeah, you want to buy his. Yeah, that's right. That's actually a good answer. Yeah, you do. I would too. Every day. Link, what's going on, man? You're hurting. Let me come on in and help you from your problem. Absolutely. Yeah. Good point, Dave. But the fact is, the real estate is secondary to the equation. The thing that we're looking at is the cash flow. The way you need to look at the multifamily property is it is nothing more than a factory that produces a product that people buy, that we sell. And what is that product?
Cash flow. Housing.
A lease. It's a contract. Nothing happens in this business until that lease gets signed. We sell leases. And that lease provides us with cash flow. All right? So think about that when you're out there looking at deals. Don't turn away from a multifamily opportunity because you don't know what you're doing. You guys are in the business, and you're going to see a whole lot of opportunities. And you need to understand, when I'm looking at a multifamily opportunity, it's all about the cash flow. That's it. So let me kind of give you, I'm going to do two examples here. We're going to keep this short and fast and sweet. I'm going to give you two examples. The beautiful thing, and this is why I love multifamily, the beautiful thing about multifamily is that it's based upon a simple formula, a simple algebraic formula. And let me show you what that formula is. Very simple. We need three variables in this formula. And you know how algebra works. I know it's like looking at some of you might not have done very well in algebra. If you got two variables, what does that mean? We can solve for the third. Right. It's very simple. So here's the top variable that we all look at. And this one was already thrown out there. The net operating income. All right, now that's what you said. Now let's talk about what net operating income is. All right? Income comes in the form of rents. Expenses go out in the form of operational expenses. What we have left over is what we call the NOI. Okay? Net operating income. So what does that mean? What types of things do we put in that NOI calculation? Do we put in, what's that? Insurance, utilities, taxes, property management, mortgage. No to the mortgage? No mortgage? Lawyers, yeah, the top of that right there, yeah. As little as you possibly can, because I don't practice. I'm not going to help the brethren anymore. They're done in my book. We have to determine what net operating income is, and it's based upon what is the income and what are the expenses. And in my courses I teach, there's good income and there's bad income. Bad income? How can you get bad income? Well, if some of the income is based upon security deposit forfeiture income, is that good income to have? No. That means somebody destroyed the place and moved out and you had to steal his money. Steal his money? He destroyed your place. So there's bad income, there's good income. Now let's talk about the expenses a little bit. You know, we talk about no mortgage. Well, why isn't a mortgage in the equation? Shouldn't it be part of the equation? And the answer is no, because all we care about is the property as an investment. The mortgage is all based upon how you as an owner did the deal. See, because here, we'll get back to Dave here. Dave, even by the looks of him, doesn't have a pot to piss in, okay? Okay? All right, so Dave has to do a 100% loan, no money down deal, all right? So he has just over-leveraged his property, leveraged it up to 100%, and now he's got to run that property and earn income off of it. But Link, by the looks of Link, this guy still has the first dollar he's ever made, right? No, you don't? Oh yeah, right, you bought a wallet to keep it in, that's what it was, yeah. So Link has gone out there and he's decided, I like this property as investment, I'm not gonna take out a loan, I'm paying cash for the whole entire thing. What impact do those two decisions have on whether that little old lady in Unit 1B pays her rent in time? Nothing. The property continues to operate the same exact way. So we don't want, when we look at this property, we want to know, how does it operate as an investment? We don't care about how these two guys financed it. We want to be able to look at that asset across many different spectrums. How does it compare to everyone else? Dave put his own spin on it. But Dave's spin has nothing to do with how we operate that property. It will eventually, because Dave will run out of money. You know, look at the guy. So, all right. So that's how we calculate the first variable, the net operating income. Now the other the other variable that we have is the price, the purchase price. Now keep in mind here, folks, there are three prices, right? There's three prices on a multifamily property. There's the asking price, which, as we say in my class, is the biggest lie. Okay, don't believe it. And I get so many of my new students that when they're still learning from me, say, my offer after I did the evaluation, I'm off by 20% of the asking price. What should I do? Make the offer. Like, well, I'm not even close. Close to what? A lie? Just make the offer. All right, so that's a purchase price, and then there's our offer price, and then the third price is a price we settle on, right? So after we do that, now we know what the two variables are, and we can solve for this variable that everybody kind of shakes their head at, and some people get it and some people don't. It's called the cap rate, the capitalization rate. It's a way that we value multifamily property. There is no set number. It is driven by the market. It is not made up by mere mortals. You have to understand the market that you're working in to determine what the cap rate is. Different types of property and different types of assets have different cap rates. The lower the cap rate, what is it? The better the area, the higher the price. When you're dealing with a low cap rate, that's a valuable asset. When you're dealing with a higher cap rate, that's a risky asset. And the reason why we use cap rates is we want to, those guys in school that, were really, really good at math and who couldn't make a buck, but they needed a job. They all became financial analysts in Wall Street, and now they're making huge money. These guys needed a way to be able to calculate out different types of investments across different spectrums. And so what we do with multifamily is use the cap rate. All right, this is a very simplistic explanation, but you get it, right? Link is so sick of me picking on him right now, I can tell. Look, okay. So we look at the cap rate. Now, what we also look at is the quality of the asset. So this is a formula. When you understand this formula, you understand multifamily. You will never go wrong if you stick to this formula and you understand these three variables, okay? So let's take a look at what we do in multifamily is we categorize assets. We call them four categories of multifamily. Class A, that's where we all want to live. This building is a Class A hotel. What they've done to this is beautiful. This is a Class A hotel. B is slightly lower than an A. It's been around a little bit longer. It gets less rent. C-class properties are properties that are tough to own and operate. I've owned all three classes. And D is a non-performing asset. D is just a war zone. War zone? Who said war zone? Have you come to any of my classes? No. You're pretty good. D is a war zone. That's exactly what I say. D is the kind of property you don't want to own. I've owned all types. And I didn't know I was buying a D at the time. It became a D, all right? So the thing that makes it from an A to a B to a B to a C to a C to a D, what is it? Time. Obsolescence, yeah, time. Nobody goes out there and builds a Class C today. You build a Class A, and you just wait 20 to 30 years, and it becomes a lesser grade. All right, so the cap rates on these properties start out like, 2%. New York City, we're looking at 2. Over here to C, I'm just going to stick with C, 14% cap rate. Okay? Geez, but that's a better return, isn't it? It's also a lot more risk. Is a junk bond a good return versus a government bond? Okay, now do you see it? This is how we rank multifamily. All right, so let's take a look at exactly how this cap rate works, and you'll see how this differs from the single family side to the multifamily side. All right? Now, let's take a look at Class A. In this particular case, this property that we're looking at, okay, never get your calculators out because we're going to do a little bit of math. This property rents, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath rents for $2,000 a month. This C-class rents, same type of unit, for $750 per month. Now, folks, these are real numbers. You can go out there and find a C-class property for $750 a month for a 2-bedroom. These are the market rents. This is what we call a top-line number. But these properties are not commanding that. They're not getting it. Their leases, they're now trading these properties for $1,900 a month and $650 a month. In other words, this is what we call the scheduled rent. This is what people's leases say. So why aren't they getting the $2,000? Well, they're trying to fill the units. So they're trying to be a little bit below market so they can fill the units. So the difference between these two numbers for either property is $100. Now you come along and you say, hey, I want to buy this property because I see some great potential. I see that we can increase the rents. And if we increase the rents, remember the formula, the NOI goes up, cap rate, we make more money. All right? We want to increase our rents by $100. Now the market comes along and says, you can't increase your rents by $100 on this property without doing anything to it. You've got to rehab it. You've got to fix it up. And once you fix it up, then you'll be able to command more rent. Okay, well, how much should I spend? Well, in order to do this, you're going to have to spend $3,000 per unit. Okay? And the same thing is true over here. Not much of a difference in the rent, but still $100. Well, what do I have to do to get that $100? Well, you got to go clean it up and, make it look, gussy it up and spend $3,000 per unit. So you put $3,000 down here on this side. Now, a lot of you single family people, this is how you think, and maybe I'm wrong because I don't know how you think. But anyway, listen up. You look at this and you say, wait a minute. Why would I spend $3,000 to get $100? That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's true in the single family world. Let me show you what happens in the multifamily world. Okay? This is $100, that's $1,200 a year. Over here, same thing. Now remember what we said in that formula about the cap rate and the formula. So here, this Class A is a 4 cap. And this Class C is a 10 cap. What happens to my net worth as the owner of this property when I put $3,000 in? Don't just say increases. I want numbers. How much? Because it's a formula. This is real. You can go to the bank with this. This is not like, oh, I think it's going to be this. No, we use formulas in this business at work. Divide 1,200 by 0.04. $30,000. Okay? How about over here? With a 10 cap, what happens? 12. Yeah, look at you. Little show off. Used to hate guys like you in school. Look what happened here. Look what happened. We both spent $3,000 to get the same $100, but because this property is trading at a 4 cap, when I walk into my bank and I show them my personal balance statement, I can show them that my net worth went up by $30,000 this year just by increasing by $100. $100. Is that, now do you see the power of multifamily? The power, as I call it, the power of the cap rate? That's how we build wealth in multifamily. You increase the rents, you maintain it, you run a very good business. Over here, the guy made $12,000. So go back to your original point that I was making about single family fix and flips, $3,000. You guys looked, why should I do $3,000 for $100? We don't look at it that way. We hold these assets. And when we hold these assets, our net worth goes up. You know what I'm going to do next year with this rent? I'm going to go up another $100. Now I'm worth $60,000 more. That is the power of the cap rate. That is how multifamily works. And that's why you do need to keep it in mind when you're out there looking at your deals.